going to be having a AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling Super Show. That's right. The Forbidden Door is now open. Holy fuck, this is going to be good.
Okay.
I'm just going to put this off the top right here, right now. And I didn't tell you this, but I think Kenny's going to get cleared for it, and we're going to get Kenny versus Okada number 4.
All right, I'm going to have to figure out who this Okada guy you're talking about is. But it's funny because I think the only match I've actually seen him in is one that was him and Jericho. Because I know the famous thing is the Omega Okada matches that are apparently legendary, but I'm like, you know what? People also told me Titanic was going to be good. Here's the thing. Obviously, this is huge for you. I already made the dig on Twitter that Michael Sidgwick of What Culture ripped his cock off when this happened.
Yep.
I'm not down on this by any stretch of the imagination. It's not an announcement that's geared to me because I'm only invested in half of that what that X is. And they're doing that cringy like AEW by NJPW like thing with the time signal and all that a lot of crossover shows do. And I'm only invested in one half of that. That being said, I do get that this is a huge thing. I do get that this is sort of an already existing relationship for most of the talent involved. And once again, like the ROH show, for me, this is like, okay, what can I learn about from New Japan? Because the only people that I know, and you and I talked about this before we came on the air, the ones that I know from New Japan are the ones that were in New Japan and now are somewhere else. You know, they're spread out over Impact, AEW, WWE. Talk about Shinsuke, Finn Balor, Kenny Omega, the Bucks. I mean, Cody was over there at one point, right?
I mean, shit, we're going to be talking about some of the people that work for New Japan on this card.
Yeah, we are. Hence why I need to lean on you again. I mean, it's not for this. We will still. Okay, I'm gonna get you to say it with me so that people will actually believe me. Eventually, we are going to do the long-awaited State of AEW podcast.
Yes, we will eventually get it done. It all depends on my work, my sleep schedule,
and the availability of your computer.
Yes, there's that as well.
Because we do need to talk about in more full detail how awesome that ROH show was.
God, yes we do.
Because that was a lot of fun, and if that was my introduction to ROH, and this is how I'm going to get my introduction to New Japan as well, then I'm all for it. Now, I have a concern that is not really AEW or New Japan's fault.
Yeah.
It's kind of WWE's fault.
Okay.
We have a situation that arises once a year in WWE where people are fighting people that they wouldn't normally fight because that's what the pay-per-view is. We call it Survivor Series.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's brand warfare. All of a sudden, all the people on your show that you are rivaling with or don't have anything to do with on a regular basis, you all throw on matching t-shirts, and all the storylines that you're currently in, more importantly, get put on pause for the sake of this show. And similar things happen when they do, and I'm not going to get into the political side of it, but the Saudi Arabia shows where they sort of book like headliner matches, but matches that don't necessarily coincide with what's currently going on. So it comes off as a bit of an interruption, a bit of a let's get it out of the way so that we can get back to what we're doing on our side of things. I am concerned a little bit that this could do that. Not as bad, and it's not like a fake two-sided thing, because Raw and SmackDown are all WWE, and this is actually two different companies doing a thing. But I don't want this thing that has all this cool potential and whatever to be. And I mean, I would say the same thing for New Japan as well. I'm just not familiar with New Japan. This will be where we put everything that's going on in like the linear timeline of AEW on pause, so that this guy from here can fight that guy from there because they're from here and they're from there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it very well, but like,
no.
Is it one that's going to be very cool, but also one that we need to get out of the way when it's over?
I don't think there's going to be like any major storylines coming out of it, or going there. I think there's going to be some build going into it, but I don't see there. I can see them doing at least one, like, gimmick, like, AEW versus, New Japan, like, match type thing. Gimmicky, kind of like Survivor Series. However, I think if anything, this is just going to be a good setup for, like, some dream matches. There's already rumors going around right now that, Kenta is, calling out Punk for this match.
Oh, the Battle of the GTS.
Yes, the GTS versus the G2S. I want that.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, like, again, I have sort of a slanted view on things because the people that I know from, like, I'm going to repeat myself now, but the people that I know from New Japan are the people from New Japan that have come on to a show that I'm watching, type of thing. One of the ones that's, it was actually Simon Miller from What Culture, who's an actual good guy from What Culture, said Tommy with the itchy knee taking on Miro.
Right.
Of the small handful of people that I actually know from New Japan, it wouldn't hurt my feelings to have Daniel Bryan versus Switchblade.
Oh god, that would be amazing.
I mean,
but I feel like we can get that.
Got to get discount Seth Rollins on the show.
Yeah. I guess if that's what you want to call somebody who's better than Seth Rollins, but whatever.
I actually like him on Impact, which is the funny thing. We're going to talk about his match at Rebellion in a second, but like I say, I want this to be as cool as it is. I want to be as excited as the people that are familiar with both sides. I just don't want it to like unintentionally become a stumbling block, and that's I'm admitting it. It's more so like this is what's happened over here. I would really like to not have it over here because even though I'm the WWE guy, AEW is winning right now.
Yes,
I don't think that's a stretch. But it is pretty cool. It is it's cool for me because they're talking about a New Japan thing, but for me, Switchblade Jay White showing up on Dynamite, it's like, here's that guy I know from Impact.
Right.
And, there's already that established relationship anyway because, I mean, the Good Brothers and the Elite and all that kind of thing. And, they held some champions for each other and all that kind of thing. And there's a women's title we need to talk about later on that's sort of kind of maybe-ish. But yeah, no, big deal. Even though, like I say, it doesn't hit me as hard as it hits some people. Like, I can't deny that it's a big deal. And that one announcement was, like I say, the only real takeaway from that whole Dynamite. Other than the Kyle Fierce Wagner sign in the crowd that popped me during the only really good match on the card. And that includes a casket match with Darby Allin, which is really sad. Anyways, shall we switch gears?
Yes, let's.